Hi and welcome. It's Alex here from the Small Business Finance Podcast. And we're really excited today to have William Tong, or Will. Are we allowed to call you Will?
Yeah, for sure.
Will from Three Monkeys Property Investments. One of the most important things with what we've been finding through our series of Small Business Finance Podcast and talking to business owners, more importantly, is the beauty of connecting with people and people in business all over social media. And Will, thanks so much for joining us. You and I, connected on social media, and it's exciting what's going on in the future. But I'd love to hear, talk to our audience about, how you started Three Monkeys, and tell us a little bit about Three Monkeys and yourself.
Yeah, for sure. No, thanks, Alex. It's a pleasure to be here, and it's pretty exciting. I'm pretty excited to have a chat about all walks of life, and in particular my company, Three Monkeys Property Investments. I guess my journey started when I was 21. I got into the real estate industry, so I've been in the industry for over 20 years, and I've worked for a number of the large commercial property firms, global property firms such as CBRE and Cushman and Wakefield, and Jones Lang LaSalle, Collins International, etc. So I learned firsthand about property investments, and I was fortunate enough to be successful in my career, and I've held senior positions in those firms for a number of years. And throughout my real estate career, I understood the importance of financial freedom. I understood the importance of really, creating a legacy, or perhaps just creating something that you could look after your family with.
Yeah.
An asset, assets that you could help with your family, and on top of that, doesn't really just stop with your family. Having that financial freedom, having that abundance sort of mindset, you can then go beyond your family and help out your community, and help out your country, and ultimately help everyone that you can connect with in the world. So I guess the philosophy behind Three Monkeys Property Investments is, we want to help Aussie families reach financial freedom through real estate investing. So that's the core principle, and a core goal.
Yeah.
And so I've poured in all my years of knowledge about putting deals together, about property investments, and I bundled it all up into this business. And I must say, so far so good.
Yeah, no, it's so exciting to see, and you and I have had many conversations about, some of the principles that you follow, with business. But, going back just before we talk about, how you manage your day-to-day routines and just what keeps you going, because you've had success at a very early age, and your portfolio in property investment speaks for itself. You're not someone who gets out there and sort of talks it and promotes, property investments. You've actually done it. And some of the principles that you follow, and the teachings that you show people, you don't make money overnight on property. It's a long-term plan. Can you just give us a bit of a rundown to someone who might be listening to this thinking, is it too late for someone in their 40s and 50s to do this? There's a lot of people from all walks of life that love the idea of it, but just can you give us a bit of a breakdown on what your experience is there, and what people can look at?
Absolutely. I want to share some shocking statistics, and that might put things into perspective. The reality is less than 2% of Australians ever reach financial freedom. And the reason for that is we're not taught about finances. We're not taught about wealth creation principles. We're not taught about that at school.
Yeah, correct.
We're taught, we need to study hard. We need to find a good job, find a good stable job, buy a home, work for 40 years, retire at 65, and live off our superannuation or whatever savings we have. I mean, that's what we've been taught.
Yeah.
And that, I suppose, philosophy or that method might have worked 50 years ago, but unfortunately in today's society, that's no longer going to be feasible. Um, the average Australian is going to retire with only a little more than $400,000 in their superannuation.
Wow.
And the cost of living now, as you know, it's skyrocketed. I remember, when I was growing up, a liter of milk was like 50 cents,
Crazy.
right? Yeah, and you'd be lucky to get anything, close to that amount
Yeah.
anymore. And cost of living is going up, accommodation is going up. So the sad reality is most Australians are going to struggle when they hit 65. And the only choice that they have is they continue working for probably another 5, 10, maybe the rest of their lives. They have to rely on the government's pension, or they have to significantly downgrade their living lifestyle.
Yeah.
And obviously nobody wants to do that. So I guess to answer your question, is it too late? It's never too late to start. I mean, ideally you want to start yesterday.
Yeah, correct.
But the thing is, look, it's not too late to start. But if you don't take action now, it's going to get harder and harder as things get more and more expensive. Wages are not going up, but property prices are going to be more and more expensive. So the sooner you start, the better it is.
Yeah, good point. And obviously, because you've had so much experience in this, I mean, you yourself, I mean, some people will get a little bit shy about talking to themselves, but hearing your success and, when you first bought your properties, to just tell the audience a little bit about, how you kicked off and, obviously that some of the steps that you took, but obviously, as well as, it's a patience game. You've got to hang in there and follow the advice. A lot of people, and what I love about Three Monkeys is a lot of people that, buy a property and they get that property thing. Once they buy that one or two properties, they think they've got this thing of, they know it all. Yep, I bought one or two properties. I've seen people buy 3, 4 properties and lose the whole lot because they're not buying using strategies to keep those portfolios growing. And the thing that I'm impressed about Three Monkeys is why I'm really excited to talk to you is that it's not just about buying properties. You really show people and you work with your clients from the start right through to the day that they retire. And the guys and the people that work with you, they actually stay with you because properties change in the marketplace. They change in every area. There's areas that are great places to buy, and you guys do the research. And just tell us a little bit about Three Monkeys and what makes you guys different and how you can sort of get people to the place where they want to be sooner rather than feel like they start and then they don't know where they end.
100%. And thanks for asking that, Alex, because that's a really important question. The thing is, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, many people leave financial planning or retirement planning too late. Maybe it's a taboo. Maybe you don't, maybe you don't want to talk about it in the family. Maybe you're scared about what people might think when you bring up these type of topics. Success shaming, unfortunately, is part of our culture right now. Tall poppy syndrome, whatever you want to call it. So people are reluctant to talk about it. People are reluctant to talk about money, talk about wealth creation, about financial freedom. And as a consequence, most people procrastinate, delay, or have a fear of getting into retirement planning or financial planning. So what we try to do is we try to educate. First of all, we try to educate our members what it's all about. It's not just about getting rich quick. Because real estate is not about getting rich quick, although a lot of people do make a lot of money if you know what you're doing. But it's more about understanding what it is that you want in life, the people that you need to look after, and we try to quantify that in monetary terms. Is it going to take you 100K a year? Is it going to take you 150K a year? Whatever it might be. And then once we understand our members' needs and wants and aspirations, then we quantify that and put into the strategy. because without a strategy, without a proper investment plan, any investment is a good investment.
Yeah.
I beg your pardon. Any investment is a mediocre investment.
Yeah, correct.
And you won't get to the point where you need to go. So it's like going on a holiday. Where do you want to go? Well, I'm happy to go anyway. I just want to go on holiday. Then you probably end up some tacky or motel in back of Blue Mountains, or it might be. So likewise, financial planning and property investments needs to be taken seriously. And most people don't. Most people, like I said before, they don't know what they don't know. Everybody wants to buy a property that's going to double in price and give you really good income. But the fact is, how do you get there? How do you find it? How do you buy it? And does that actually fit your long-term goal and long-term strategy? And how do you put this property to help you accelerate to buy the next property? Those things take experience, take knowledge, and takes planning. So this is where we come in. So that's we help our members create that plan, and then we help them execute that plan, and we back it up by our research. So we've got really strong research fundamentals, which I teach in my masterclass, and we teach how we go from having access to thousands of properties and really narrowing down to the specific property that's really going to move the needle and really going to help the member reach financial freedom faster.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we do in a nutshell. And I guess right now we have a very tight team. So we all communicate really well, and we really look after our members.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And the good thing too is it's not like you have your members buying a property and then you go, great, we'll see you in 2 years, 3 years, whatever it is that they feel that they're, because a lot of people don't realise, and when we were talking about some of the things that you, particularly with Three Monkeys property investments, is people don't realise they probably can buy a property every year if they do it the correct way, and sticking to a plan and sticking to all the principles, and without giving anything away, because I've seen a number of your training methods, and I love it. I think it's exciting, and I'm really excited for the people that are interested in growing wealth through property investment, because of all the ones I've seen, your one stands out very, very strong, and hence which is the reason I wanted to talk to you. So, but without going any further into it, anyone that's seriously looking at property investments, we're going to make sure we put a link on this and have a way that they can connect with you as well, and you can set up a time and talk to them from there. But one thing I also wanted to talk about is among your teachings of helping people get financial freedom and everything else, you've managed to establish yourself with diversifying, and I know your passion's in the fitness industry as well. And some of the people who may not have seen yourself on social media, you're an absolute guru when it comes to looking after yourself, looking after your body to enjoy life. And tell us a little bit about how you've changed there and what you've done.
Yeah, no, thanks, Alex. Thanks for bringing that up. I mean, I'm just going to say it. Health and fitness has always been what I love to do. So ever since in high school, I was really into my sports. I loved exercising. I loved getting fit. I loved staying fit and healthy, because ultimately, you can have all the wealth, or you can have all the riches, all the money in the world.
Yeah.
But if you don't have your health, you got nothing.
Yeah.
So wealth is really health, and I've been fortunate enough to be able to really chase my dreams, and I say this because most people, unfortunately, they never fulfill their dreams because of a number of reasons. One is fear, and the other one is just resources. They don't have the resources
Correct.
to chase their dreams, and I guess that's how fitness and real estate kind of ties in together. Is that I've always wanted to help people live better lives. And I think there are two core elements that you need in order to have a fulfilling life. One is, as I mentioned, your health, and the other one is having financial freedom. So what I love to do is to coach on both. So first of all, you need to have your lifestyle, your health, your fitness, everything, in place,
Yeah.
then you can enjoy the financial freedom. I've been fortunate enough to, get my certificate in fitness, and I started my fitness business in 2018, and I wasn't able to do that prior because I didn't have the financial resources to do that.
Yeah.
And it's because I was able to, I suppose, establish myself with my real estate investments, my real estate portfolio, that I was able to actually go and chase my dreams.
Yeah.
And actually establish my real estate, my fitness business. And I'm really lucky that I've been able to change literally hundreds of lives. I've coached hundreds of people in losing weight, getting fit, living a healthy lifestyle, having a better mindset. So I guess my ultimate goal is to help people get healthy and wealthy.
That is so cool. Yeah, that is so good. And so as far as your principles and things like that, with your daily routines, what keeps you going? Like, I mean, there are so many times. I mean, particularly we're going through a very, very tough period now. I mean, the whole globe is, and we've never seen anything like this. And touch wood, we never hope to see something like this again. But for people that there is so much. People out there now are more interested in doing a lot of things for themselves rather than do the day-to-day thing where they go to work. Some people are actually now encouraged, and people are looking at their own businesses and diversifying. But being able to stay on top of that mindset and motivate yourself, like you said, a lot of people, they get this idea, think that they can't do it because it's a lot of it is self-doubt. And I think a lot of the things that you show on your fitness side of things is your mindset. You touched on that, is being able to believe in yourself and keep going. And every single day, you're going to have days where they're going to be bad. So what are some of the things that you do to sort of, as you have bad days, what are some of the tricks that you can talk to our audience about that might help them to sort of move towards looking at something for themselves,
Yeah, for sure. I think the way I suppose what keeps me going is the desire to improve myself. I think, I mean, we are going through a tough time right now, and no doubt about it. This pandemic is really once in a lifetime for many of us, and many people don't know how to deal with it. And I think the way you kind of, I guess the first step in getting out of a negative mindset, in order for you to then create abundance and productivity, is to get out of what we call the victim mentality. Yeah. That, hey, everything's happening to me, why is it happening to me? Yeah. Like, why am I so unlucky? All those type of things. When you have that victim mindset, you are powerless. You are powerless because you are allowing external forces to dictate your life. So in order for you to flip that around, is you need to get rid of that victim mindset and say, hey, I'm in control of my destiny. Sure, there are environmental factors like the pandemic that we need to navigate through, but we need to become masters of our own destiny. One of the easiest things to do, I mean, it's easier said than done, this whole concept, but one of the real hacks is to practice gratitude. The way our brain is wired is we cannot simultaneously feel thankful and fearful at the same time. Right. Just the way our brain is biologically wired. So the more that we feel fearful, anxiety, the less we are thankful for our lives. So in order for us to flip that, we got to practice gratitude. And the thing that I do is I whenever I find myself in a negative headspace, I try to just stop everything, and I just spend a few minutes just sitting in my room or wherever I am, in the car or in the park, whatever, and I just look around and I just look at random things and say, oh, great, I'm thankful I'm in a car right now. I'm not getting rained on. I'm thankful. I'm able to enjoy the sunlight. I'm thankful I had clean water to drink this morning. I'm thankful my son gave me a big smile this morning. And you just like pick random things that make you be thankful for. Just practicing gratitude. And if you can do that on a regular basis, and it doesn't have to be any meditation or anything, although that helps, but just practicing this gratitude is good. Just find something that you're thankful for. It could be really simple things, but that's where you start. You start there, and once you understand that gratitude then opens the way to abundance, then you'll be able to shift from that victim mindset to an abundance mindset, and you can take control of your life. So that's what I do on a regular basis. I amplify that with breath work. So every morning I spend about 10 minutes just breathing exercises, nothing fancy, no meditation per se, just breathing exercises. And I spend about 5 minutes just before bed doing the same thing. And that really helps me oxygenate my brain, my body, and really open up my mind to possibilities. So I guess those are sort of my routine and my hacks to really get through the day. And I guess at the end of the day, you got to find what works for you. But I find this really works for me.
That's awesome.
And,
that's awesome. And probably the most important thing is like you're constantly talking about, you're starting with yourself. You're not really looking at, we always have this perception out there of, I can never get things, or I can never do that, or I'm not good enough to do that, or a lot of people second guess themselves in day-to-day lives. They get excited about one thing and then they talk themselves out of it later on. And it's, some of the stuff that you've been doing on social media and, you're constantly talking about this gratitude, which is what I love. It's a daily thing with you. And it's interesting to sort of see, some of the small things that lead to bigger successes. And congratulations to yourself, mate. Like you're such a young
Thanks,
guy,
mate.
and what you've done is just outstanding. And you've got a fantastic family, fantastic businesses. And I think before we sort of wrap things up, how can people reach out to you? And you've got Three Monkeys social media page on Facebook. You've also got if people are not interested in property investments, are they interested in health and fitness and mindset? Give us a couple of plugs for your two businesses.
For sure. Well, you can definitely find me on social media. So you can find me on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn. I guess the best place to really understand my two businesses, the real estate investments, will be 3monkeys.com.au.
Yeah.
So numeral 3 monkeys.com.au,
which we'll have a link as well on this. So
thank you. And for the fitness side of things, you can go to realestatefitness.com.au.
And it's not just for real estate people; it's for everybody.
It's not just for real estate people, but because of my background, and I wanted to put real estate and fitness together, so I called it.
Absolutely. No, that is awesome, Will, mate. Thank you so much again for coming on today. I know you're really, really busy, and to get you on such a short notice, I really appreciate it. And I'm hoping we can probably have another session. Interesting to hear some feedback from people, and more than likely I'm going to ask you down the track to come on, and we'll have a take two on where we've been and what's been going on.
I love it.
Awesome.
I love that. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for the invite.
Excellent.
I really enjoyed it.
Thanks, mate, and have a good, successful week.
You too.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.